BannedLA is under fire right now. It's being reported that they owe up to $100,000 to their cosignors and as well as employees out there. And before we even get into this, I want to say, man, I've met the people. I met Eric Park from BannedLA back in the days of SneakerCon. For the most part, he's been a good guy. You know, nothing wrong with him personally. But today we have to speak on him as a businessman. So, Eric, if you're watching this, this is all about business. It's nothing about you personally. So, you know, let's just keep it 100. Currently in the resale world, I would say, man, it's definitely oversaturated. And with oversaturation brings more competitors. I know. I'm in the sneaker YouTube side that's became heavily oversaturated. And with oversaturation there comes more competitors and possibly, potentially less views because they're all spread it out. With now being in the resale market, there has been more competitors out there, more people selling, more people co-signing, more shoes on the market that drive down the price, and just a lot of fluff going on. And recently there's been news of BannedLA going through a dilemma right now, owing consumers up to $30,000. This all started back with a post. Let's find that actual post that was posted to BannedLA's Facebook page. And this is, since then, I think been deleted. Hayden Sherritt. I hate to do this because I really enjoy doing business together. Calling out Eric, HB Park, and BannedLA. After promising cosigners would be paid out, Eric owes me $30,000 from sales and has been dodging calls for over 2 months. He has promised to call me back twice, but still has not returned a call. I flew to LA to pick up the remaining inventory last week and picked it up with no problem. However, I could not get paid out for what was sold, and when I tried to negotiate for product instead of cash, I was told no. The employee told me that they are prioritizing rent and payroll with cosigners' money and had only $6,000 in their account at the time. I'm only making this to call out the post so that cosigners are fully aware of the situation. Pick up your product before it sells and you can't get paid out. If I had known sooner, I wouldn't be in this situation. He then reveals his text messages saying, yo, how you doing, bro? I'll call you in a couple hours. And he said, sounds good. As you can see, there is nothing really else going on. And see, he responds here and saying his apologies and he'll make it correct. We have here a follow-up and kind of him just talking and saying, you know, I know you're busy in LA, I would like to meet up. And he's basically telling him that, you know, I want to get this straightened out, man. Look, you might not be able to pay me right now at this moment, but at least speak to me. At least let me know you receiving these messages. And that's all it really takes sometimes, bro, to let someone know and give yourself some more time. Like this reading the text and ignoring it is way worse than just acknowledging it and saying, I got you, I'm working on it. That little step goes a mile, you feel me? And with this now going on in BannedLA, other people out there have now begun to speak out and have even spoken out about other, stores out here. This one right here from Walter Kicks. Do not, and I repeat, do not do any business with Giblin Kicks. Sold Demand NJ, sold me 40 pairs of lost and found Jordan 1s and labels, the scans, and never shipped. I'm out about $17,000, and I'm not the only one Giblin has scammed. I've spoken with multiple people that he has scammed as well. Salutes to Raf Kicks, by the way, by having these both in the building. And as you can see, this is Sold Demand. They have a 3.3 rating out of 28. So this kind of goes back to what's been stated recently. Salutes to ETC for making this statement a while back. You know, it really, at the end of the day, the stores definitely hold accountability and need to be held responsible for this type of stuff. Now, where does the consumer fall into place on this? Is if you continue to shop with these people after hearing about what they've done to other people. You have to start looking at yourself in the mirror here. Now, Walter Kicks, he stated that he's spoken to multiple people that they have scammed as well. Now, did he find these people after he got scammed, or did he hear about people that got scammed but continue to spend his bread? That's a real big deciding factor. Now, if he knew that these companies were taking people's monies and scamming, and he still decided to throw his money out there, those companies still need to be held to the fire for their actions. You feel me? But at the same time, you as an individual need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what do I expect? I was told. What makes me any different? You know, we see a lot of that happen nowadays where people have earned a name of being a bad business person or a bad individual, and people still get hit over the head. At some point, the people that are crying out and getting the attention need to be as well, you know, held accountable, like, for their actions, and be able to be like, bruh, not even saying that they need to get hurt, but like, you need to take some of that on yourself, bruh, as well, and admit that you were wrong for just even continuing that nature. You feel me? Now with BannedLA, I never really heard anything negative about them, you know, as far as what they've done. So this first time around, and same thing with Walter, this is the first time around, then I feel for you, man. You know, I can't really say anything negative or wrong or say that you made a bad decision, because it's never been heard that they ever did anything like this. Now, today, there was some further turns and information to this story, and I want to say salutes to Eric, because it does take a lot to say this, but at the same time, on a personal matter, that's what I'm going to say, but on a business matter, this was the wrong time to say that, because the way the internet works, you're only going to make it worse on yourself. You feel me? BannedLA, a popular sneaker boutique, salutes to Site Supply, by the way, has been accused of failing to pay out over $100,000 in consignment payouts to several individuals who have sold shoes through their store. According to a YouTube video, let me see what this is.
BannedLA ruined
tripping.
my life.
Salutes to Tripping. I saw this video. And posts on the Facebook Marketplace, numerous sellers have claimed that they have not received payment for shoes that were sold on consignment through BannedLA. Some sellers have reported waiting for months for their payments, and they have reached out to the store for information they have received in little to no response. One seller claimed $30,000, which we read here. And it says also others have reported amounts ranging from $500 to $15,000. Many of these sellers have expressed frustration and anger of the situation, and some have stated they will no longer do business with the store. It is unclear at the time why BannedLA has failed to pay out their consignment payouts, or what their plans to rectify the situation. Attempts to reach the store for comment have been unsuccessful. However, so that's one of the big, it's unclear the reason why they have been able to fail it. I'm going to leave this one up to y'all to make the decision for me, or at least comment what y'all think in the comment section, because we're going to hear some stuff. We're going to hear reasonings, but they're kind of vague onto why. And I want you guys and girls to tell me what you think why, at least. This situation is a reminder of the importance of thoroughly researching a business before selling or consigning items with them. It is recommended that the individual take steps to protect themselves and their finances, such as requesting written agreements and keeping detailed records of transactions. Until BannedLA resolves the issue and provides answers to those that owe money, it is advised to exercise caution when considering doing business with the store. For the latest information on sneakers, clothing, and collectibles, stay up to date. Make sure you subscribe to Tonyd2wild. I'm just playing, but nah. salutes to Site Supply. So this is what we just saw recently. Okay, so this is the recent post here. This was done by Eric HB. He posted this in the BannedLA Facebook group, but also posted this on his Instagram. What up, everybody? I'm sure by now everyone has heard of or has their version of the story about what's going on with the BannedLA store on Melrose. In 2021, we killed it on paper, and I thought nothing could stop us from progressing, but unfortunately, things took a turn. I took a lot of things on, opened a lot of can of worms, and somehow lost control of everything. That's what happened to myself the very next year in 2022, when I got into substance abuse and problems and partying without thinking of the consequences of how it would affect my family or my business. Okay, I'm gonna break this one down instead of just reading it all. We're gonna break it all down. So this is the problem now. The question was asked earlier, what caused people not to be able to get the payout? You know, was you spending the money that people were giving you for the consignment, the consignor? Were you spending the consignor's money on substance abuse and partying without thinking about the consequences of how it would affect your family and business? Because the way you're saying it is that, and first and foremost, substance abuse is no joke. And Eric, I hope that you find that on a personal level. I hope you find the rehabilitation that you need, and you get through this. You feel me? And I hope that you can recover on a business aspect. It's gonna take a lot. I personally would not shop, or at least consign. I won't say I won't shop. I mean, if I'm in Melrose and I stopped at the store, if you were to let me in now to this video or something, I probably would, see what you got, and if you had something nice, I'd probably cop. You feel me? But consignment stores in general, though, I'm just, at this day and age, they're all just very like sketchy. With this, how fakes and everything is, it's very difficult to trust. But he said here that he got into substance abuse problems and partying without thinking of the consequences. So he got into stuff and it took control of him, and he didn't think about the consequences on how it would affect his family and his business. Okay. With the lifestyle comes a lack of concentration and a true lack of motivation. So that transition, it makes me see that he's not clear-headed. And when he's not clear-headed, he is then not focused and motivated to continue to do the work. So maybe he lacked being a manager. Maybe he lacked pushing the envelope forward for the brand and the business. Maybe it fell that way. I don't blame this on anyone but myself. I let the business get to this point by lack of management, which he just said there, and communication with employees. I will remember all the people who called me to tell me they still believe in me and the brand that was started by this community. I plan to check into a rehabilitation program to first help myself come clear-headed. I'm appreciative of my team who are helping me run the organization while I'm gone. I love y'all so much. The BannedLA Facebook admins and the employees who are still working through this current situation. FYI, the Hayden Sharrett call out post was my fault due to the lack of communication with him, because he is a personal good friend of mine. We always shared information and had a good mutual good feelings, which I appreciate and respect. We have talked and have came to an agreement. I want to make one thing clear. This has nothing to do, nothing intentional. I take full responsibility for what has happened. My intentions going forward will be first and foremost clear to the consignor debt owed. Salutes. And I'm sorry, everyone who are affected by my actions. Thank you. Salutes. And this is the post right here by Hayden that he's saying, the call out post, that he's going to make sure to take care of that. So I take people's word at the end of the day. The thing is, bro, like, if I wanted to be a dick myself, I could just just walk all over this, because there's so many things in this up. And the thing is, I'm going to just lay everything out and let you guys kind of tell me what you guys at least think, right? At the end of the day, he made a statement publicly, and all I can do right now at this point, me, even though I'm not even a customer, but I'm a person, I guess, and people would ever ask me for my opinion moving forward, all I can do is take his word right now and see what's going on in the next 3 to 6 months. And based upon that, then I can make a further observation and an opinion. This being his first time I ever see anything really wrong going on with him, I can't just go full-fledged bam on him. Now, what I will say, if I am someone who spent $30,000 and I read this, I would take it as in, you took all of our money, spent it on drugs and partying, and now we need our money back, and we just SOL right now. That's just to someone that when you're owed a lot of money, you don't care about a lot of this stuff. They more likely probably don't even care about. People, at least people won't. At the end of the day, if I'm dumping $20,000 into a store, that's $20,000 from my family as well. That's food on their table. Kids, children, sisters, brothers, mothers that I gotta take care of. And when you're dealing with someone's money and their livelihood, a lot of this stuff can go out the window. You feel me? And on top of that, I hate to say this one, but it's always a question that has to be asked. If business was booming still, would you have stopped the partying, and would you have came to your senses? You know what I'm saying? And would you have been able to come to your senses and fix these things if business was booming? I guess if business was booming, you wouldn't have no issue with debt, but you probably would have still been partying. So sometimes you always got to look at the good side of the bad, I guess. His business failing is what's going to be able to, I guess, help him rehabilitate. Because in reality, if he was doing well, just like he was doing in 2021, he probably would have still been doing drugs, partying, and ruining his family and life even more. So I don't know. I try to see the good out of every bad situation. I wish nothing but the best for him as far as his brand and the company. I mean, they're always going to have that stain on them moving forward. If you want to work with them, you can work with them, but just know that things like this can happen. And this can happen, I think, with anybody out there. Look at Zeta Kicks. Look at a lot of these companies, man. With a lot of these consignment stores,
it's not, the consignment stuff is just not booming as much as it was. The resale stuff is not booming as much as it was. One, because there's so many competitors, but two, because sneakers is just not selling out. The hype is just not there. It is what it is, you know. And I don't give a damn because I'm here buying what I like. I don't care about no secondary market. But this just goes to show you, you know, where we're at. And like you know, like they said, man, like this, it's important to research these businesses and maybe think about just doing this stuff yourself at this time. You know, dumping your money into these other companies and these other people, you run the risk. It's almost like a bank. You dump your money into these banks, and these banks, they just take your money and use it for other stuff to make them more money. That's what it is, you know. You dump these shoes in and you get this money and they use it. It's the same thing, you know. Make sure you put your money somewhere where it's safe and not being messed up. You know, it's things like that you gotta take for granted. Now, I just want to ask you guys a question. So, do you think that he stated here that the drugs altered his mind and his motivation, which then made him not be able to be the manager that he was to be to the store, then that caused the store to fail? Or was he just spending the store's money on these type of things? Or I guess it really just goes hand in hand. He did clearly say that lack of communication is what caused the store, like lack of communication and managers. So he definitely kind of pinpointed that his mind was not there to be the manager that he needed to be. But my question is, how do you have only $6,000 in your store's account at that point? Are y'all just not selling anything? Or is someone taking from the pot? That's what I'm saying. If you have a store and you only got $6,000 in there, I know you got to pay employees and all that. So one, y'all are not, the only thing is just one, y'all are not selling nothing. Y'all are barely selling anything. That's the first thing. Or two, someone's taking too much money from the business. That's the only thing. I honestly don't believe that Melrose, that BannedLA on Melrose is having issues selling shoes. That's what I at least think. That's the first. So I would go with the later. Now, I could be wrong, but it's either one or the other. You can't take one. Either you're having a failing business, you're not selling nothing, and BannedLA is not selling no shoes and they're failing as a business, or someone's taking money out of the pot and bringing it down more and more, just taking too much damn money. It's one or the other. And I really want to believe that BannedLA is not suffering from the resale side of things. I could be wrong though, you know, I could be wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see, man. Here's also the last statement. And this is from actually an employee right here, by the way. And I'm happy I showed this because last time, boy, I did a video not that long ago where I didn't even show nothing. I was managing the store for a little over 2 years. They fell behind on paying us in the beginning of September 2022. I stuck around for 3 months and waiting for them to give us direction and funds, which never came. I quit on November 1st after became fed up with the excuses and lack of urgency to the situation. That day I quit, I was owed $35,000 because I specifically told them to pay other people as much as they could, which caused my tab to grow tremendously. My tab is now down to $13,000 to $14,000, but it's about to be 6 months and it's still open. I don't know how you allowed. I don't know how y'all, I don't know. Hey, I need to know how y'all can work without getting paid. Let me know. Cause boy, I got bills, man. I was told about to get small checks every week, but I haven't been able to collect in 3 weeks now. Everyone's saying you should pull up, you don't know nothing. And I read all this already. He's basically saying y'all keep trying to tell him to go pull up and do something about it and what, go to jail? You know, yeah, like exactly, Steven, you're right. Like, what? Steven's supposed to go up there, beat the hell out of somebody, go to jail and not get no money, or steal something and then get charged with that? No. But he did say that he would like to, take him to court. They can't afford it anyway, so it'd be a waste on money and fees. Bunch of small time resellers in here that make $5,000 a year off shoes, acting like they have any idea what they would do. So yeah, I definitely get that there, man. Steven, don't. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. But with that being said, man, BannedLA is under fire. $100,000 worth of stuff. Things are getting crazy. Things are getting spicy. Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below on this, man. I would love to hear it.